Bring you back home now. Of course, tributes still continuing to pour in for AKA, brutally murdered outside the popular Wish restaurant on Durban's Florida Road on Friday night. The ANC visiting the family and the party says it will remember him as a staunch supporter. Let's head over to what I understand is outside the home where the ANC are now speaking.
Loved by the youth, but to the commercial stage where it is now, celebrated by all South African hip-hop. AKA was one of the key pioneers of that moment. South African hip-hop got to be respected in the continent and in the markets like the United States of America, and the AKA was there. And he is in many ways a pioneer, but over and above, he's a patriot also. He loved his country through his music, and his life was taken away so early when so much was expected. May his killers be found and be brought to book. That's all what we can say. And in God we believe, and may his family, his fans, his colleagues in the music industry entirely draw solace from the knowledge that they are not alone in this time of bereavement. We all are poorer in terms of hip-hop and music without AKA today.
Certainly. You know, you would have met him on the campaign trail, and we've also seen him on Twitter talking about calling the ANC our ANC, and calling on others to openly criticize the ANC when it's done wrong. You would have also been with him on campaign trails. How was he, and what would be your fondest memory of him?
Well, me, I was at a personal level, I was very close to him. We had our moments together, and politically, he was sharp and independent. He loved the ANC, but he wouldn't allow certain things that are wrong not to be said. And that in itself made him very special. We live in a country where raising a debate has really, gone to the gutter. There's no longer discussions. People don't express their view. All what happens is that it's insults, swearing, and so on. AKA will sharply raise his view about any other matter. Fees must fall is a point that he was vocal about. He marched alongside the students. He made personal donations to support, which is an act of solidarity. That shows somebody who's very conscious. It is in the very nature of hip-hop. It's a conscious movement, hip-hop. You sing about the environment, good and bad, and you elevate that and talk about it. So he was an activist in many ways. So he was a person who was jolly, and he will talk politics for hours with me. And then we will engage. He will want to understand what is this, what is that. But it was very clear to me that he was very conscious. He was respectful to me and to everybody who knows him. So in the campaign trail of the ANC, he made a contribution. And he said, this is what I can contribute. And it was not an easy campaign. Remember, when you campaign with politicians, it means that you can lose your popularity because of your association with a political party and so on. But it was clear why he did so. And he did that without any reward. And normally, we in the ANC, we do support artists whom we ask to come and perform in our platforms. They don't do so for free, we pay. Even with AKA we will do, but most of the time he will do those things out of his own volition, which was quite encouraging.
Certainly, there you have it. That is the Minister of Transport just talking to us about how conscious AKA was in his contribution to the campaign trail. Premier, there's a conversation that has come up following the fatal shooting of AKA. And this is an issue surrounding gun culture and, you know, how freely available guns are. Are you able to talk to us about that and efforts to maybe curb such incidents from continuing? Because this is not just an issue that affects only celebrities, but also just affects all South Africans.
We're just coming out of our provincial Lekgotla, and this matter was raised sharply. That if we can't act, those that have illegal guns will finish those that are law-abiding. And those that have illegal guns will play God and decide who lives, who dies. And our Lekgotla was very clear that we'll approach the legislators, that we need a debate and serious action to be taken on strengthening gun laws and across from the private company, security company, the Zamazamas, and those that have illegal guns with them, that as a state, it's high time that we take a particular stand and attend to this matter. So I concur with you. We will sharply raise it and elevate it and ensure that it is attended. We can't. We have so many illegal guns that are flowing freely in our country. A moment has arrived that we take a dim view on how this is stopped.
Certainly, Premier, it is so unfortunate that you know, this has happened, and you know, we've lost a young person as young as AKA, as young as 35 years old. And I can tell that you're sad after coming inside. Talk to us about how you're feeling right now.
No, I indeed saddened. We find ourselves failing to express how we're feeling, especially when we came face to face with a family that is going through this difficult moment. But our SG, who's also our minister, led us exceptionally well and provided counsel, support, and managed to console the family. And in the ultimate end, the family appreciated our presence and also accepted that we've lost a hero. And we committed to provide whatever necessary assistance that is needed from the provincial government point of view, so that we can ensure that our hero is given a befitting farewell. We believe he's an international icon, is really supported across the globe, and it's an opportunity for us as South Africans to ensure that we stand with the family, especially his daughter, and ensure that everything goes according to plan. So we are fine where we are. I think we are consoled, but we have managed to extend our support to the family as well.
Certainly, Premier, this is not the first time we're seeing the provincial government supporting artists in Gauteng. We've seen you at Magesha's funeral and many others. And is this because there's somewhat of a relationship between the ANC and certain musicians? We've also seen the minister attending another musician's funeral and speaking about the long-standing relationship between, you know, the party and certain musicians.
Not necessarily. There are some that we visit that members of the media might not be aware. For example, John Moeti, the captain of Orlando Pirates, I represented government. We went to visit the family. We went to speak to the family. And many other people that had bereavement in their family. So we are not doing this on the basis that is AKA, but you can't eliminate the importance and power of those that are known in public space. And our presence here is on the basis of that. But we attend to many people, known and unknown, and we provide all the necessary support that is needed. I even led government to provide support to the wife of the president of ACDP, Reverend Kenneth Mishwe, where the Gauteng government provided support to the funeral of his wife. So we unleash all this kind of support to everyone because we really believe that we should be there when we are needed.
Certainly. How is the family doing inside? We heard the minister talking about the father and the meeting with the father, and you've also mentioned that you were able to, he led you in passing your condolences and comforting the family. How is the daughter and the father?
yeah, you will respond to that aspect because he led us.
Well, I think, like I said, it's a difficult moment. It's a difficult moment. We were here to express our condolences, but to say to them, draw solace from the knowledge that you are not alone. And that they appreciated that. Outpouring of support from South Africa and everywhere. They do. I think the healing process will kick in long after this have actually happened. But they are deeply hurt, as it is expected.
SG, sorry, Fikile Jones from eNCA. Maybe just a question around the statement issued by the eThekwini leadership of the ANC saying they're calling for more capacity and more IT specialists, but someone also saying they have information pertaining to who might be the mastermind or the killers behind the shooting that transpired. Are you going to be going down to meet the delegation so you can work with law enforcement agency? Have you been in contact with the leadership of KZN and ANC?
We can't make speculations at the present moment, but what we know and what we have seen, it was a hit. AKA was assassinated, broad daylight, and he was killed. And we believe in the capacity of the police to dig deep and get the killers, but also get to the bottom of why this. Why did it happen? Because AKA was not a drug lord. He was a musician. So why does he deserve to be killed like that? So the police are doing their job, and the Minister of Police has been at the center of ensuring that the police do their job. The family inside have expressed their gratitude to the Minister of Police and to the police for the professionalism they have applied in terms of dealing with this matter. We leave everything in the hands of the law. We can speculate, many people can speculate and all of that, but at the end of the day, the perpetrators must be found. And all what we can see and what we can see, it's an assassination. He was assassinated and killed, brutally so. So the police are doing their job, and we leave it in the hands of the law to deal with this matter. And anyone with information must honestly work with the cops to provide information so that we can find these killers.
Certainly. So I understand that you are the lawyer representing the family. Talk to us about the kind of legal advice that you have given to the family and how you will take this matter forward.
So at this point in time, the most important thing, obviously, is laying Kiernan to rest. So what we what we have done is that yesterday, as you would have seen, we spent most of the day in Durban, where we had to go identify him together with the father and the brother. We spent time with the detectives that are working on the case. We did a few interviews, and then we managed to come back with Kiernan. So at this point in time, he is in Joburg, and the family is working hard to make sure that the funeral is held over the coming weekend. But we are also working on putting together a memorial service where we are going to announce, future plans. But we are going to put out a proper statement tomorrow that will also indicate the program for the week. So at this point, we are not focused on issues of legal advice or anything like that. But then the most important thing is to make sure that the family is catered for and that the funeral actually goes ahead as planned and as per the family's wishes.
Okay, thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you very much.
Can you give your name and surname?
Rudolph Baloyi.
Rudolph Baloyi.
Yeah.
Okay. Rudolph.
Well, Gareth, there we go. Rudolph Baloyi there, of course, speaking on behalf of the family, legally representing them. We also heard from the Secretary General of the ANC, Fikile Mbalula, as well as the chairperson of the ANC in the province, Panyaza Lesufi, just giving us a detail of the kind of sentiments that they received, and reception they've received as well while visiting the family home, where we understand this was where AKA used to reside. As you can see, the delegation is still here. It seems as though more information pertaining to the funeral arrangements and other details that will be necessary to be given to the public will be communicated throughout this week. But we also get an understanding that the family is still quite devastated and reeling from this tragic incident that took place in KZN, in Durban as well, on Florida Road. Of course, the ANC leadership not ruling out the possibilities of a possible hit that could have taken place targeting the well-renowned rapper as well. But of course, police will be giving out some of those details as they continue to investigate. I also did ask about that statement that was released by the ANC's leadership in KZN, who say that more capacity and resources are required in terms of, analyzing that CCTV footage clip that has now gone viral on social media. But of course, there's also been allegations around how they believe they may know who could be the possible perpetrator or perpetrators and, of course, masterminds behind that criminal act. But, of course, the ANC says they cannot enter into a realm of speculation, but, of course, to give law enforcement agencies that time to ensure that they finalize investigations and hopefully there be, arrests that will be made pertaining to this tragic incident that took place.
And Pule, just as I say goodbye to you as well, let's just maybe remind viewers who didn't join us at exactly 4 o'clock, Panyaza Lesufi talking about gun culture in the country, mentioning as well that it's come up at the Lekgotla of late that there could very well be a debate on the gun laws in South Africa.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we understand that the Gauteng provincial leadership of the ANC had that 2-day Lekgotla. A lot of things were discussed pertaining to crime in the province as well. He's been behind the idea of having, 24-hour camera surveillance in the city of Johannesburg and other metros in Gauteng. But of course, that was also topped the agenda in terms of how they can alleviate crime in this provincial economic hub. But most importantly, that issue of gun laws is something which they may be looking into as the ANC leadership thoroughly to see how it can speak to actually protecting, citizens and not rather being against citizens, which is quite a conversation that has been controversial for quite some time. And hopefully we may be seeing some action coming out of those Lekgotla, representations to see how the leadership of the ANC can actually implement this at a much more national level to ensure that the issue of gun laws is something which may be regulated and not for anyone to be carrying a gun which is not licensed or which is not within the ambit of the law.
Pule Lesufi-Jones, thank you very much indeed. Just across the road from where AKA used to live, one of the residencies as well. The family devastated. No real surprise by that, of course, but their devastation being relayed by Fikile Mbalula and also Panyaza Lesufi and also the family's lawyer. The lawyer representing the families coming out, and it's just taking a moment to speak to the media, saying that plans and the focus and the priority right now for the family is to arrange the funeral, which is expected to be in the next couple of days, probably by next weekend, but no exact date has been given as yet. My thanks to Pule Lesufi-Jones.